Hello and a very warm welcome to Meghan and Harry News YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Alex and Happy New Year to all of you. And today I think I shall talk about this article, this so-called poll, which is another example of fake news, or should I say fake announcements, headlines that mislead the audience. So here we see one example of many. This story has been across all the media platforms. Here we see Brits think Prince Harry should be stripped of title amid Netflix show. It then says nearly half of Brits want Prince Harry to be stripped of his royal title amid of this new Netflix documentary. Wow, half of Britain, it says. How many would that be? Well, the population of Britain is 67 million, so they are saying that 33 million Brits have said that they want Prince to be stripped of his royal title. Is this true? Of course it isn't true. Yet that is what they state. Nearly half of Brits want Prince Harry to be stripped of his royal title amid his new Netflix documentary. It's a barefaced lie, staring you right in the face. And this lie has been repeated in quite a few other newspapers. They cover themselves by saying it's based on a survey, but they mislead the audience by implying that it is half of Britain. It turns out this article and misleading headline comes from the Times. Here we see public support for stripping Harry of royal title after Netflix film, and this newspaper echoes the same rubbish in their first line by saying almost half of the British public think the Duke of Sussex should be stripped of his royal title following the release of his Netflix documentary, polling has found. This survey comes from YouGov survey. YouGov is the UK government, which is the establishment, the same establishment that the royal family control. And if you look into this, you will see that the survey is of only 1,672 adults. Now, remember, what did they say? They said half of Brits, which would mean 33 million, half of Britain. Well, it turns out it's actually 1,672 people. So this survey only actually represents 0.001% of the population. 0.01% is not half of the country. It's not a quarter, it's not 10%, it's not 1% of the country, it's far less than 1%. It's 0.001%. Yet the deceptive media are implying it's half of Britain's. And this tiny survey of only 1,672 people, where did they get these people from anyway? Well, from what I gather, this is a survey of Times readers. Well, the Times does nothing but post negative stories about Meghan and Harry, while simultaneously posting positive stories about the monarchy. So the readership of these newspapers are already quite biased and indoctrinated by their output. So with all of that manipulation, it's still not a very convincing result. The result is irrelevant as it only represents 0.001% of the public anyway, and in no way is that representative of half of Britain. How could it be? Add to that Meghan and Harry don't even care about the titles. If they did, they would use them. The documentary is called Harry and Meghan, not the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The reason this poll is so tiny and is only being given to a readership who are mostly pro-royal is to skew the results. These media organisations would never do a real poll, a real wide-ranging survey that would cover millions of people. No, they wouldn't do that. They are too scared to do that, because then they would get a true result. It would be very easy for the Times to do an online survey. Easy, ask the public to vote on social media, on Twitter perhaps. They even have a tool for surveys. They don't do that, open it up to a much bigger audience, as opposed to this tiny 0.01%. No, they would never do that because they know that the answer they would get back would be an overwhelming support for Harry and Meghan. It doesn't matter about the titles, nobody cares about that. But they would see that the general public would be in support of them over the royal family. It was like that before, and it's even more like it now since the release of this documentary. That is the simple truth. But the media are allergic to the truth and want to sell you an illusion, and that is why they do surveys of a tiny number aimed at an audience which they can believe will answer in a predictable way, and then use that to make grand statements, which are outright lies, claiming it represents half the country when in reality it is only 0.001% of the country. And it's tiny selected group who have been conditioned. Let me know your opinion in the comments, and Happy New Year to you all.